Here we go. Here's another one about the community, how people are fucking... Again, they're just milking this. It's not like people actually care. It's like everything that needs to be said was already said by multiple people. It's like, oh, but I want this guy's opinion. Bro, he's gonna say the same shit as everyone else. And fuck it, I'll make reacts to it because you never know which video people might might watch, so fuck it. So this is by Desperius, also pretty popular Final Fantasy. You wouldn't tell by the views, but it was on release only yesterday, and I believe in the evening, so no one saw it yet. So let's see what Desperius has to say about.
I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics. To see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined.
Irreconcilable differences, when coexistence isn't an option.
Where's this cinematic from? Where's this? Like, I honestly, I finished every fucking thing in the game and I can't find the cinematic in-game. Where's this from?
It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives.
Is this... Well, I guess it could be from pre-ARR, then? Like from 1.0?
But it only spurs me onward. To find the wisdom and the strength to...
It has to be, because Balesar is wearing his shit. And the Warrior of Light is super young. Okay, this is from the end.
And there will be peace.
No, this is from... yeah.
To the task.
That's, yeah, pre-ARR.
Thank you, Alice.
Welcome to another video. It's been a dramatic and exhausting time for our communities.
Dude, I love these words, man. Dramatic and exhausting time. I don't think people care that much. Like, they care about it because it's drama, but I don't think anyone is losing sleep over this.
Stirring anger, discontent, but also passion, in which I want to offer some final words and a conclusion that all Final Fantasy XIV players...
Damn, look at Kani Senna. Looks so different.
And those that might become one in the future can reach consensus and harmony again. Yes, we talked about many furious topics lately. Job changes serving as possible indications for a direction of the game in which the developers are leading it against the interest of some players. Or the whole modding topic, where you can easily find good and bad arguments for either side without being totally unreasonable. Or even when defending a dumb argument, but one that defines your own decisions and opinions.
Yo, dumb argument? Yo, sign me up. I'm all about that dumb argument life.
Even dumbness becomes relevant at that point. Then we had this super over-exaggerated Asmongold video, where I basically wanted to point out how much fanatism can lead to passive-aggressive reactions and behavior, and that it might be bad for all...
Asmongold the Pope! Oh my god, what does anyone care with this fat, bald, superficial, insecure hair plug fatty thinks? WoW is trash game and trash graphics that have seen comparable to Game Boy Color. The only people that like it are boomer neckbeards that still live in their parents' attic and can't afford a new PC. I'm pretty sure Asmongold can afford a new PC, can probably buy your house and buy a few PCs into that house, like easily. But yeah, and he will live in your parents' attic because he can afford it.
People taking part in it. However, I could also look much
hilarious.
further back into the whole gatekeeping topics that someone like Lynx Kameli talked about, or people are obsessed with Final Fantasy XIV story and plot development. And yes, I will tell you again, that sometimes it is a necessary element for content creators to hop on drama trains. Something to make a living from it.
Yes.
Nonetheless, there's an
and I would say this is what it
we
is.
should never forget about. Anyone with a humble interest in a game that we all love should be granted the right to be heard. But remember, this doesn't have to define your own perspective onto something, regardless of standing for or against your own opinion. Your world and enjoyment should not be affected by whatever can take it down in the eyes of others. Just as an example, some days ago my wife and I started rewatching Attack on Titan again from the start, until we caught up with the events on the final season. And just after the first 3 episodes, I remembered why this show is my absolute favorite anime of all times. So much that regardless of how it's going to end, it will stay in my heart and my memories forever. And
that's exactly why I don't care about spoilers, man. It's the fucking journey, man. It's the fucking journey. It's not about the fucking end of it, man. The ending is always shit. It's all about the journey.
It's carved into my brain as a big emotional part of my life. But now to the point. Does that automatically mean you should feel the same?
Not always.
Or that someone's criticism is not worth to be heard? Definitely not. And of course, I could feel personally attacked as well when someone hates this show, as it represents many of my personal ideas and how I perceive the world and how we are a part of it. But this is exactly what happens to a lot of Final Fantasy XIV players. The story and plot is taking you in, and especially by being embedded in this MMO environment, this immersion is easily accelerated and amplified, which basically breaches the fourth barrier for many players.
Yeah, this is basically what happened with World of Warcraft. Like when you attack World of Warcraft, you attack people's identity. Yeah.
Included. But the same logic can be applied here as well. Just because you like it doesn't automatically render opinions of others worthless when they disagree with your opinion. Our self-reflection and how we perceive the world is always subject to personal perspective, and even science is not totally invulnerable to human subjectivity. So let me tell you one thing. Even if we tend to outrage easily, especially if we want to defend those things that can reach our hearts, this emotional connection does not need your protection. These are your ties and only you can cut them. Nobody could ever convince me that Attack on Titan is not a good show, as I just fell in love with it the first time I watched its first season.
It's a good show, and then because it took so long of a break, I just can't get back into it at all. And I just read the manga while it was like they were making the second season. And once I got into like understanding what's going on, I kind of like didn't care anymore.
And the same goes for Final Fantasy XIV. But like I said, these are personal opinions and other people are allowed, yet even invited, to disagree. As we are living in a world where freedom is one of the greatest values that our civilization has achieved. And even though we might seek refuge in video games to make us forget about our real problems or imperfections,
bro, what is that cinematic? Mine didn't look this good. Is this like HD recording? 10, like 4K or some shit?
There's one thing we should never leave back on the road, which is freedom. And some people might not know it yet, but this freedom can only be guaranteed when your own is not hurting that of other people. So always put in a reasonable pinch of respect, politeness, and empathy for those around you.
But then there's no drama, man.
To actually learn about what other people think. And if it's always accompanied with bad language or disrespect, it will never lead to consensus and splits different perspectives apart even further.
Yeah, welcome to what's happening in the US right now, I guess, with liberals and Republicans. It's like, your opinion sucks. No, your opinion sucks. War.
So instead of trying to aggressively defend your position, try to make it clear instead, while offering some more sympathy for your counterpart. Maybe your divergence actually has more intersection than both parties believe. So please, whatever topic we're talking about, and of course, I will cover as many topics in and around Final Fantasy, as this is my form of realizing my act of freedom, I would be happy when that discourse is held within a respectful space for all participants. Yes, content creators are leaning towards extreme ends of certain topics very frequently, but at least for my content, I will always try to be respectful. And to make this particular thing clear once and for all, anyone refers to a great community, by the way, which points out to a toxic fraction of the Final Fantasy XIV player base, this is just a very small portion of our community. Beyond these loud and aggressive social media mob, especially when playing the game, you will find way more helpful and friendly people.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like it's all the community that is outraged by this is like such a small minority. It's like it's some random people on Twitter, probably doesn't even amount in the thousands. And it's like they just want drama, man. It's probably like they don't even care about this. They just want to care about something
that you can have tons of fun with, and which sometimes plant the fruit for great friendships or even romantic relationships. So, instead of putting our focus on bad apples, yes, we content creators included, let us embrace the hope for a good community that this game was known for nearly a whole decade. And together, even if we might have different opinions, share the love for this game, as it's not without a good reason.
Look, at the end of the day, your opinions don't really mean jack shit. Not like anyone really who plays Final Fantasy. The most you can do is keep asking for certain features, and and that's it. And it's like eventually you'll probably get them, or just break the rules, and eventually they'll change it because they see people break the rules for a certain reason. But it's like your opinions, like as an individual, really don't mean jack shit. Like as far as like it concerns like the devs and shit, it's like your opinion doesn't really mean anything. So like like I said, this attacking other players with your opinion like won't do anything really. It's aside from annoy other players, and then you're just gonna have a back and forth. Like it's really like if you're upset about this, the only person you should be taking it up with is Square Enix and Yoshi P. Like that's it. That's pretty much it. It's like you either like this decision, so you go to Twitter and it's like good for Square Enix for enacting their TOS and banning this toxic player or whatever, right? And then the people who don't agree go to Square Enix and be like, I can't believe you guys banned him during Prague. At least wait till he's done Prague or something like that. Why did you have to do it at this time? Or whatever you disagree with. I don't care. But it's like you're taking it on other people, and it's like, who cares? It's like your opinion doesn't mean shit to the other person, nor will it change anything. All you're gonna do is just divide the community even more.
Why we gave our hearts for it in the same way the developers do, at least according to their reputation and my hope in the real great community we are part of. So let us lay down our weapons in the form of hate speech, abuse or disrespect to other people.
Was Yoshi also in the band?
Better understand different perspectives, so that we can find joy in the game that became a second home for many of us. And when I learned one thing from Attack on Titan, walls will not make your life better. So give your hearts and keep loving Final Fantasy.
This became like I mean, it's a nice video and all, but it's like it's too mushy for me. I can't. Like it's like I came for blood. I came for blood. Okay, alright, that was Desperius. Alright, next ones. Alright, let's watch the next ones then.